Hello dear students, how are you all? I think everyone are fine there as usual. So student, today we are going to complete the remaining portion of the lesson number 1, the best Christmas present in the world, written by Michael M. Orfurgo. Okay, so he is a good writer. He have chosen a good extract according to his writing skill, and this extract really made us to be there in the lesson because it has a very interesting facts and very interesting moments of a defense sector. So student, let's begin with the today topic. So what is our today topic? See here, lesson number 1, the best Christmas present in the world, written by Michael M. Orfurgo. Okay, and the book is 1, part 3. Here we have an glossary portion of class 8th English. So student, so this is all about here. So student, just recall your previous video, what we have studied in the previous part. Yes, the previous video was a part number 2 of this lesson. So today, what we have discussed in the previous video, there were a letter which the writer Michael have found it from the secret drawer, and it is kept in the black box, and on the box it is written as Mr. Jim. What it is written? It is written Mr. Jim. So student, who is a Mr. Jim? Mr. Jim is a captain. So he is a captain of England Army. All right, he is a captain of England Army, and his nickname was Tommy. Fine. So what we have learned about him? We learned that he had written a letter to Mrs. Jim Macpherson. Mrs. Jim Macpherson. Okay, who is she? She is a Connie. A nickname of Mrs. Jim Macpherson is Connie, and she is a wife of Tommy. She is a wife of Tommy. Tommy is a Mr. Jim, captain of England, and he is deployed in a border of a tense situation where he is safeguarding his frontiers land from the enemies. So this is what we have learned about Mr. Jim, Mrs. Jim Macpherson, and one more character we have got. Okay, who is he? Mr. Fritz. Who is he? Mr. Fritz, and his real name was Hans Wolf. Hans Wolf. He belongs to which country? He belongs to Germany. He belongs to Germany. Okay, and he is safeguarding the territory of the Germany side. And what he likes to play? He likes to play cello. Okay, he is a musician. Okay, before becoming a captain of the German army. All right, then we have learned in the previous video that a Christmas celebration, which celebration? A Christmas celebration, a Christmas celebration, okay, took in between England Army and German Army. Okay, so in this Christmas celebration they have enjoyed a lot and lot. They have shared their beliefs, they have shared their words, they have shared their memories of their own country, and they have shared their meals like schnapps, sausage. So whatever they have their ration, they have shared with each another. They have laughed, they sang during the night hours of the same day, and they enjoyed lot and lot. And don't forget, they played football also. What they did on the eve of the Christmas celebration? They played football. They played football. Okay. So student, tell me here, German plays the football well or England plays football well? Which country play the football well? Yes, Germany plays the football well. Coincidentally, why? Football is there because football is their favorite game. Is it or no? Football is there. You can write here favorite game. So obviously German won the match of football against England. Okay. So here Hans Wolf, a captain of Germany, tells to the Jim Macpherson, "Hey captain, if we had a football match in between the two countries, the war which is going to take place from the last many years, and it is still going on as it is, and it haven't stopped yet. So if we play the football and we can resolve such a big problem in such a 1 hour of football game." So Hans Wolf used to say to the Jim Macpherson, "Hey really, Fritz, you are telling right one. Your decision is correct. But the political parties who are governing our territory, our country, they don't like this one. They want to bring a peace but through war. So it is not accepted by us, because we soldiers have to give up our lives to save the territory of our country. So it shouldn't happen like this." So here Mr. Jim is telling to the Hans Wolf. And one more thing, one joke he is telling. "Yes, you are telling the football match, I will say a cricket match. We are good in cricket and you are good in football. So if we play a cricket, you are definitely going to be defeated by us. If we play football, you will defeat us. So it might happen vice versa. So it shouldn't be like this." So both are talking in such a free manner. Understood? So these all things what happened in the previous video and the previous video. So student, in the previous video we have completed the whole letter which is written by Mr. Jim Macpherson to Mrs. Jim Macpherson. So can you tell what had he written in the conclusion of that letter? He written that, yes, what he written? He written that we will be back to our home soon. We will be back to our home soon if the situation become normal. We will be back to our home soon if the situation becomes normal. Did the situation become normal? Who knows, because it is not mentioned in the letter. But he can give a prediction, he can give an assumption, okay, while writing in the letter to his wife. By seeing today's behavior, by seeing today's manners and the way of talking and the way of celebration of the Christmas Eve, I think that the situation going to be get well soon, and we will back to our home, we will back to our native place, and we will enjoy our remaining time with our family. This is what Jim Macpherson writing to his wife, Mrs. Jim Macpherson. So student, is this words, is this okay handwritten scripts came true? Who knows? This is what we are going to begin. Is the Jim Magnificent going to alive or he is going to die? If dies, then here the Jim Magnificent's wife, Mrs. Jim Magnificent, a Connie, will be waiting for his husband, that his husband will come back to the home and they will live together. Is this kind of meeting happened in between them, or the Jim was died in the war and his letter was not sent to the address to whom he have written in the boundary? So who given this letter to his wife? So this is a big question mark. So this is a big question mark on this explanation. So student, this is what we are going to study here in the part 3, and we will resolve this question mark by reading the remaining part of the lesson. So student, without a further go, let's begin with the part 3 and have a curiosity and the eagerly kind of things in your heart to know what happened in the part 3 in between these two countries, or in between these two peoples, Mr. Jim and the Mrs. Jim Magnificent. So let's begin with this. So student, before taking the part 3 of this lesson, I would like to say that in the previous video I have given you homework. Yes, I have given a homework, as some of you have completed and sent me in the WhatsApp. Well and good. What about the remaining student? Are they taking it lightly? No, there is no any such question to take the homework lightly. Everyone should do the comprehension check questions of the part 2 and the part 1 and send me there in the WhatsApp. And on a day of a home visit, if we found someone not written, he or she going to get a very tough time at that day. Okay, so don't be like this and don't be so free. So complete your homework on time and send me us in the WhatsApp. Okay, let's begin with the part 3 of the lesson. Okay, yes, here the part 3 we have I folded the letter again and slipped it carefully back into its envelope. I kept awake all night. By morning I knew what I had to do. I drove into Bridport, just a few miles away. Now, after reading the whole letter in such a thorough manner, he folded the same letter in such a manner and kept it inside the envelope. And he decided, morning I will visit to the area Bridport. Okay. Finally, the writer Michael got to know about the address of this letter through its envelope, which is written over it. Fine. Now I am going to the Bridport and I will hand over this letter to Mrs. Jim Magnificent. And the whole night he didn't slept at all by reading the experience what Mr. Jim written to his wife, and he's so curious and he's so decided that I want to give this letter to that lady. Fine. I drove into Bridport, just a few miles away. It is somehow few miles away from my area. I asked a boy walking his dog where Copper Beaches was. A boy was there nearby to his area, okay, a few miles away, and that boy is walking with his pet dog. Hey you boy, do you know where it is? This address? A Copper? Fine. House number 12 turned out to be nothing but a burned out shell, the roof gaping, the windows boarded up. I knocked at the house next door and asked if anyone knew the whereabouts of a Mrs. Magnificent. Now what this writer do? What does Michael do? Michael asked a boy, a room number 12, a house number 12, a Copper Road near Bridport. He went and he founded that house. What he sees there? The whole house was burned brutally. It was burned in such a drastic manner. The huts of the house was totally burned. Even the whole house walls were turned into blackish in color. And after seeing this house, he became so sad, so disappointed, and he became so amused. Now, where I will hand over this letter, to whom I have to hand over this letter. This question arises in the mind of Michael. So what he did finally, he went beside to the home and he knocked that door, and a person opened there. Can you tell me where this lady lives now? And that person said that. What he says? Let's see there in the text of the first 7 lines of the part 3. Oh yes, said the old man in his slippers. He knew her well, a lovely old lady. He told me, a bit muddle-headed, but at her age she was entitled to be, wasn't she? Now he is telling the characters of that old lady. An old man came out of that house. Hey, Michael, I know that lady. Who is she? She is too old. She is very old. Okay? And a bit muddle-headed, but at her age she was entitled to be, wasn't she? And she became a somehow, okay, she don't have a hairs, a bit muddle-headed, okay, and because she became so old. And now where she is residing, I can tell you, and she is a very good lady. Okay, so here we got the characters of Mrs. Jim McPherson. So student, write down the characters. Might be questions will arise from here. Characters of Mrs. Jim McPherson. Characters of Mrs. Jim McPherson were, first one, okay, she is a lovely old lady. She is a lovely old lady, fine. And another, okay, she had bit muddled headed, okay, headed. So this is all about that lady, and finally she is well hearted, okay, she is good and kind hearted, okay, you can write it down. So these all characters of that lady which were told by the old man who reside beside to her burnt house. Okay, then 101 years old, 101 year old she was. She had been in the house when it caught fire. No one really knew how the fire had started, but it could well have been candles. She used candles rather than electricity, because she always thought electricity was too expensive. The fireman had got her out just in time. She was in a nursing home now, he told me. Burlington House on the Dorchester Road on the other side of town. So a very saddening news a old man given to the Michael. He used to say, a lady is very good in nature. Her characters were very enthusiastic. Okay, her characters were very nice. Everyone likes her. Then what happened one day? Her house was burnt very drastically. How the fire was taken place, we don't know. But she used to burn the candles instead of the electricity, because she thought that electricity is too expensive. I couldn't pay the amount of the electricity bill. I couldn't, okay, afford that bill which is provided by the government. See what is happening. A soldier who was deployed in the territory to protect its country's respect, its country's loyalty, its country's people, and the family of that soldier were kept in such a bad manner. They couldn't use the electricity because they don't have an amount to pay. So is that condition of that family? So it shouldn't happen with any soldier, with any person who are serving to their nation. So finally what happened? So a burning taken place in the house in the bread pot, and she was evacuated successfully by the fireman, and now she is residing to the nursing home. Where she is residing? She is residing in nursing home. So student, what do you mean by this home? Do you know an old age home or a nursing home where where old age people taken care by the authority, taken care by NGO, and authority. Okay, fine. So this is what he says here, and this nursing home is in the place of Dorchester. Okay, where it is Burlington House, Dorchester is an address for this nursing home. All right. Okay, this is what a old age man told to the Michael. Then what happened? Yes, so this is all about in the first paragraph of the part 3. So student, let's come to the comprehension check question of the part 3. Why did the author go to Bridport? A question mark. So you have to find the answer. It is very easy. See, author went to Bridport for finding in search of Mrs. Macpherson and handing over her letter written by her husband. So this is what intention of the author, to visit the Bridport and talk to that lady. But he didn't found that lady, and he got instead of a burnt house, and he became so sad, became so sorrow, and he asked to the nearby house, and the old man told that she is residing in the nursing home which is there in the Burlington town and situated in Dorchester, okay, of England province. Fine. Now the second question is, how old was Mrs. Macpherson now? Where was she? What is the age of the Mrs. Macpherson? Yes, tell me fast. Now only we have studied about it. Yes, student, your listening skill is good. If your listening skill is good, your writing skill should be good. Fine. The age of the Mrs. Macpherson is 101, and now she is residing in the nursing home Burlington House at Dorchester of England province. Fine. So this is all about the first paragraph of the part 3. So student, let's begin with the page number 15, the second paragraph of the part 3. I found Burlington House nursing home easily enough. There were paper chains up in the hallway, and lighted Christmas tree stood in the corner with the lopsided angel on top. So here he get entered into the nursing home. Okay, he found it at nursing home, he enters it, and he see their reception, and he see the decoration there. Okay, and he see the Christmas tree was decorated in such a good manner. Lightings are rolled up here and there, and they were blinking. Okay, closing up, again blinking, again closing up, and it looks so beautiful, because might be it is a Christmas festival on the same day. Okay, I said I was a friend come to visit Mrs. Macpherson to bring her a Christmas present. So what he said to the receptionist, hey, I came here to talk to Mrs. Jim Macpherson, and I have bought a gift to her. I could see through into the dining room where everyone was wearing a paper hat and singing. He can see there in the dining room everyone had a group. Okay, they were singing, they were dancing, they were taking the very good treats, taking a very good meal, because it is a eve of the Christmas. Okay, the matron, yes, the matron had a hat on too and seemed happy enough to see me. She even offered me a mince pie. She walked me along the corridor. Mrs. Macpherson is not in with the others. So the matron, who is taking care of all the old age peoples who were boycotted from their house, who were left at their house. So she was also in such a decorative manner. She is wearing a hat. She is well dressed, and she is enjoying with another peoples of that nursing home. And she accompanied that Michael. Hey Michael, come here. I will take to you and meet you with all the peoples who were here. And one thing I want to tell you that here Mrs. Jim Macpherson is not with us now. She used to live aside. She used to live alone in the home, and she is not a part of this party. Here the matron is telling to the Michael. Okay. She told me she is rather confused today, so we thought it best if she had a good rest. So why she is not here with this along with us in this party? Because she is too confused, and that's why we given her a time to do some rest. She has no family, you know, no one visits. So I am sure she will be only too pleased to see you. She took me into a conservatory with wicker chairs and potted plants all around and left me. Okay, now what a matron is telling to this Michael. Hey Michael, do you know, she don't know anyone here in this England, even no one as such a relatives to meet her. And she lives alone and she don't have any expectation from anyone. If she sees you and she become happy because you have brought a present to her on this gracious occasion. So here the matron is explaining each and everything to the Michael. And matron took him into a conservatory with wicker chairs and potted plants all around and left it me. So here the matron taken to him to the conservatory with wicker chairs. Okay, he taken him to the conservatory and the wicker chair was there and potted plants all around and left me. So a lady was sitting on the conservatory area. Conservatory area means the area which is so conserved. Okay, the things which were kept in such a better manner. And there was one plant, and beside to the plant a wheelchair was there. On that wheelchair Mrs. Jim Macripherson was sitting, and she is aged above 101. And this Michael went and stood in front of that wheelchair, in front of that Mrs. Jim Macripherson, and a conversation take place in between the Mrs. Jim Macripherson and Michael. Okay. The old lady was sitting in a wheelchair, her hands folded in her lap. She had silver white hair pinned into a wispy bun. Okay. She was gazing out at the garden. Hello, I said. She turned and looked up at me vacantly. Now the old lady was sitting on a wheelchair where a matron left him towards the room of a Mrs. Jim Macripherson. That old lady was dressed properly. Her hair was dried. She don't used to comb. Okay, a pin was stapled on the hair. Okay, and she is in such a dress code that it is somehow special day for her, but she is not enjoying. She is watching outside towards the window and she is sitting so silently. Okay. Now this person, Michael, who bought a gift for her, a gift of envelope which is written by Mr. Jim Macripherson to her. Hello, he said. Who? Writer. She turned and looked up at me vacantly. What she did, she turned up back and she seen who is calling to me, who knows me. She turned beside and she looked over that person. Happy Christmas, Connie, I went on. I found this. I think it's yours. As I was speaking, her eyes never left my face. So what he did, as soon as he turned beside to see the face of that person, and what he told, a very happy Merry Christmas, Mrs. Connie. This is what I got somewhere and I am handing over to you. And she became so surprised, so amused what this person is telling. And she continuously seeing that person, and she is continuously seeing towards the eyes of that person, and she is memorizing something. Okay, what she memorized here? Here, as I was speaking, her eyes never left my face. I opened the tin box and gave it to her. That was the moment her eyes lit up with recognition and her face became suffused with the sudden glow of happiness. Then what he did, he taken out that box. On the box it was written, if I died, it should be buried with me, but it didn't happen. And he opened that box and he taken out the envelope and given that envelope into the hand of the Mrs. Jim Macripherson. And the eyes of the Mrs. Jim Macripherson were lit up and she became so suffused. What is the meaning of suffused? Yes, what is the meaning of it? It is written in the right side of your page number 15. Yes, watch it out, what it means. What is the meaning of that word? Yes, the meaning of the suffused is glow up of happiness spread all over her face. Okay. Then a moment when the letter was received by Mrs. Jim Macripherson, then what happened? Her eyes were glow up, glow up and spread all over her face, and happiness spread all over her face. So why she became happy? Though she was too old lady and a sad one, and this day on the occasion of Christmas she became too happy. Fine. Then what happened here? She became happy. She became suffused. Suffused means becoming happy. A glow up face. Okay, write it down after making a proper underline just behind to that word. With a sudden glow up of happiness, I explained about the ducks, about how I had found it, but I don't think she was listening. So he is explaining each and everything. I have found it a big desk. Inside that desk there was a drawer. Inside the drawer there is another drawer, a secret drawer. Inside that drawer I got this black box, and inside that black box I got this envelope which is written by your husband. But she is not listening at all. She is so eagerly opening that letter and reading it very patiently. Okay. For a while, what happened? For a while she said nothing but stroked the letter tenderly with her finger strips. So what he did, she said nothing and stroked that letter, okay, tenderly with her fingerprints. Suddenly she reached out and took my hand. After reading that letter, okay, she somehow folded that letter and in such a small pieces she kept it somewhere else. And then what she did, suddenly she reached out and took my hand. She reached near to that person and taken his hand. Her eyes were filled with tears. Her eyes were filled with tears. The tears were letting out from her eyes. You told me you would come home by Christmas, dearest, she said. And here you are, the best Christmas present in the world. Come closer, Jim dear, sit down. So what she is amusing, what she is thinking, what she is knowing about that person. Hey you dearest of the dearest Jim, you have told me that on the Christmas Eve, on the Christmas celebration of the next year, when you have written this letter, you are coming to my home, and you never came, and finally you came on the occasion of the Christmas. So you have given up your words truly, and you are here. And she is bringing out such kind of loving words, such kind of a very caring words, and she is talking to that person. And here you are, come and sit beside to me. Who? Mrs. Jim McPherson is talking to that person who have bought this letter. I sat down beside her and she kissed my cheek. I read your letter so often, Jim, every day. I wanted to hear your voice in my head. It always made me feel you were with me. And now you are back. You can read it to me yourself. Would you do that for me, Jim dear? Now what she is telling. She assumed that person, she thought that a person who bought this letter is my own husband, because she never seen her husband after this moment when he had written this letter. And the Mr. Jim was a young and energetic man when he had written the letter. From that time she is waiting the way of his husband, and she never met him. And the person came finally with a letter in his hand, and he is hand overing this letter to the Mrs. Jim McPherson. And here Mrs. Jim McPherson read that letter, and what she assumed, this is a person who is my husband. And she is telling, I'm waiting a long days, and you never met me, and you are here finally on the occasion of Christmas, and you have said truly that you are going to come. Please read this letter by your own words to me, dearest Jim. She is telling here, I just want to hear your voice again. I would love that so much, and then perhaps you will have some tea. I have made you a nice Christmas cake, marzipan all around. I know how much you love marzipan. See this, a very beautiful moment was going to take place here, and this person is reading a letter to her, and she is telling, I will provide you a tea which is made by my hand. I will give you a marzipan a cake which is made by me and you loves more and more? Yes or no? Yes, student. About the marzipan cake, we have heard somewhere in the middle of the lesson when the Hans Wolf asked Mr. Jim, what is your favorite dish? My favorite dish is marzipan. We have made in this occasion. Just taste it. He given to the Hans Wolf. Yes or no? The marzipan is a favorite dish of Mr. Jim, which is made by Mrs. Jim McPherson, and he is enjoying that meal. And this cake is given to that person who have bought this letter. And now this old lady becomes so happy, full of joy. Full memories came in the mind and the heart of that lady, and she want to enjoy the every moment, okay, with that person, with this letter. So this is what we have recognized, we have learned from this lesson, student. So it is written by Michael M. Orforgo, okay, and the comprehension check question here we have, okay. So before doing the comprehension check question, let's discuss something about this lesson more. So student, this is a very sympathetic, empathetic, and a very a deep meaning kind of lesson. This lesson is giving a very deep meaning, a very enthusiastic meaning, where this lady have written received this letter from a person, and this letter was written by her husband, and they were enjoying at the last moment after receiving this letter. So student, this is a very enthusiastic, a very realistic, and a very happy moment for that lady, and she want to enjoy the each and every moment with that man who had bought a letter to that old lady. And this lady becomes so happy, though she was so old and she have left everything whatever there in her life. She have left it her husband, okay, she have left it a home which was burnt due to some circumstances, and now she is in the nursing home. Even in the nursing home, she is not able to mingle with the people. She is residing alone, but she don't know what to do. Finally, she got a letter on the occasion of the Christmas Eve, and the same letter is written one day after of the Christmas Eve. See the coincidence, what it taken place. Really, it is a God's sake. Really, it is a God gift, where a letter is received by that lady on the same occasion, and the beliefs of that lady came true by this person Michael, where he got this letter. So student, it is a really and realistic thing what taking place, it is an God gifted, it is an God conduction, okay, where the things happen as it is, coincidentally, it is not planned, it happens as it is. So this is all about this beautiful lesson, the best Christmas present in the world. This is why the best Christmas present in the world for the lady Mrs. Jim McPherson. A letter is given to Mrs. Jim McPherson is a best Christmas present. Okay, the best Christmas present for Mr. Jim, the best Christmas present for Mrs. Jim McPherson, the best Christmas present for the Michael, because he got the satisfaction by providing that letter to that lady. For that she is waiting for many and many years. Understood? This is all about the morality of this lesson. So student, if I says about the moral of this lesson, so student, in your life each and everything is so important. Yes, money is important, education is important, knowledge is important, each and everything is important, but more and more important than all these kind of scenario is the self-satisfaction. Until and unless you don't get the self-satisfaction from any activity, your heart will never going to be fulfilled. When you will get the self-satisfaction? By helping others, okay, by taking the care of others, other in a sense of old age peoples. If you help them, if you serve them, if you respect them, if you provide each and everything what they needs, then a self-satisfaction of your heart will be fulfilled. You will realize, yes, I have helped, I have respected our elders. The elders will going to bless me for my future upcoming career. So this is what happens with all of them. So everyone should take care of this morality and keep it in your mind and heart, and you should follow in the same manner of helping, respecting and caring of others. Okay, all right. So student, comes to the comprehension check questions. Who did Connie McPherson think her visitor was? Okay, who did Connie McPherson think her visitor was? See, Connie McPherson thought a letter was written by my husband, but it is bought by this person. In the letter, my husband promised me that once on a day of Christmas celebration, I will visit you and I will come back to my home. And this person came with this letter, and this person is a real husband of me. So this is what Connie thinks about him. Okay, so student, write down the answer of this question after reading the text thoroughly. Now comes to the second question. Which sentence in the text shows that the visitor did not try to hide his identity? Okay, here, which sentence in the text shows that the visitor did not try to hide his identity? So the visitor came here and he don't want to hide his identity. So by which sentence or which text you will get know about this? See, as soon as visitor get inside the nursing home and he told that I am a person who want to gift a Mrs. Jim McPherson. Okay, I am not a relative, and in between he is talking to the Mrs. Jim McPherson that I got this letter somewhere from the cupboard and this letter belongs to you. So by this text you can understand that this person not hide his identity. So student, read the text thoroughly. There were many instances where the writer don't want to hide his identity from Mrs. Jim McPherson, from the receptionist, or from the person who are taking care of the old age people. All right students, this is all about 2 comprehension check questions we have discussed. So student, here we have completed the first lesson, the best Christmas present in the world, written by Michael M. Orford Go. Okay, a best writer ever, and chosen a best text for you all. Okay, to provide a best morality, a moral teach to you all students. So here we have all about completed the first lesson. So in the coming video we will discuss the question and answers of this lesson and the grammar portion what it is carrying here. All right, even we will do the first lesson or a first part of the workbooks grammar. So be there in the touch, and I have sent you already the PDF format of this book, so you have to watch it out. Okay, where I have been teaching you. All right, so student, for the time being, take care about yourself. Okay, be safe and wait for another video. We were going to begin it. Okay student, bye bye and have a nice day.